What's happening? Who's up first?
We just start firing. How's it feel to be back here in New England and seeing all these faces, not just here, but
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. Good staff, great guys. Just started with the players yesterday, and that's been good. Great attendance so far. You know, the whole thing leading up to this period is a dead period. So this is the first time we've actually had a chance to really be with the players, and that's really exciting because that's, you know, what it's all about, the coaching end of it. So it's been good.
How good could Mac Jones be?
You know, I think, Tom, the big thing for us right now is everybody's starting with a clean slate. You know, I think that every year is different. I think this year is no different than any other year relative to each year in the NFL is different, right? So what you did in the past, or whether it's a player or a coach or anybody in the organization, really has no bearing on what happens moving forward. So, like, you know, we just started yesterday, and we're looking forward to having a good phase 1 and then a good phase 2 and then a good phase 3, and that's kind of what it's all about.
So no ceiling?
So
Billy, what about the time you spent with him in Alabama, even though you didn't directly coach him, that whole transition period? What did you learn about him? What did he learn about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the time in Alabama was when I first got hired. He was there getting ready for the draft, and I basically met him. He talked to me about the generalities of the offense, and, you know, that was about it. You know, I think this time period here, you know, starting yesterday, this is the time where you really get to know all the players, you know. So relative to when I was there 2 years ago, he was getting ready for the draft. I met him, and that was about it on that. So.
But when it came to you coming back here, did coaching Mac play into your decision at all?
Oh, no, I think the big thing about coming back here was to come back and work for a great organization, great owner, great head coach. I'm from here. My family lives here. My wife went to Boston College. I'm very familiar with the area. So, you know, all of that played into our decision as a family to come back here. I think that was the big thing. It wasn't about one person. It was about the whole, you know, the whole package, so to speak. Yep.
Are you happy to be back in the NFL as opposed to college?
You know, I do. I love both. I really do. I've loved my experience. I'm kind of 50-50. I've been half my career in the approximately half in college and half in the NFL. I love both. I really enjoy being in the NFL, being around the players like I said, we're starting yesterday, just being around these guys and the professionalism of this organization and these players, this coaching staff. I really enjoyed it. The process of the NFL is something I've always enjoyed, and I'm just really, you know, I'm excited to be back.
How similar are things? You walk in here for the first time in a decade. How similar are things compared to how they were back then?
Yeah, I think it's like I said to Tom. I mean, I think things change every year, right? This building's different. Everything's different. You know, there's different staff members. You know, that was 12 years ago. You know, so this is something that is I'm really excited about, working with this staff, working with these players. Every year's new. Every year's new. That's the way the NFL's set up. You know, if you look at all the rules of the NFL, whether it's free agency, the draft, the salary cap rules, whatever it is, every year's a new year, and that's what this is. And so we're all starting with a clean slate, fresh start, and it's really not anything about what's gone on in the past. It's more about moving forward. That's our theme. That's one of our themes on offense is to move forward. You know, that's what we're doing.
Billy, how are you different from the guy that was here 12 years ago?
In a lot of ways, I'm older. I'm probably, I think when I checked this morning, I'm probably 20 pounds overweight than 12 years ago. But no, I think, you know, everybody, you know, you learn. This will be my 31st year in coaching. And so over time, you learn a lot. You know, you learn a lot from different people, different players you coach, different guys you work with. You learn a whole lot. So I'm excited about the challenge of being here, but also understanding that I really take pride in all the things I've learned since I was here.
Hey, Billy, last year, Mac at times did show emotions. You know, he got upset. He was outward about it. Where is your thought process as an offensive coordinator on your quarterback, no matter who it is, showing emotions, good or bad?
I think it goes back to, and I'm telling you when I say this. Yesterday we started, and it really is a clean slate. You know, however you played or however you coached or whatever you did in the past, you know, in the end, it's all about what are we going to do starting yesterday. You know, for 2.5 months when I got hired, we were in this office next door meeting as an offensive staff, getting to know each other and doing things like that. Now we get a chance to work with the players. It's all brand new. Every year's new. Football is a game of emotion at times. That's what football is. But at the end of the day, this is a new year. This is a new start, and we're excited about it.
But to get that new start, how much have you spent trying to dissect what did happen last year and how to move forward from that?
I think you always go back. We've watched a lot of tape, not just last year, not just 2 years ago. We've watched a lot of college tape. We've watched a lot of tape from around the league over the last few years. We have access to a lot of different ways to watch tape, and that's, as coaches, that's one of our main jobs, is to learn from the film. So we've watched a lot of tape and we've gleaned a lot from watching tape, and now it's time for us to like I said, start working with the players and see if we can keep moving forward and have a really good off-season program.
Bill, what's the framework of the 2023 offense, the framework of it? I mean, they tweaked it a bit last year. It was obviously Josh's offense and your offense for a long period of time.
Yep.
Do you have a framework in place, or is it just kind of like sketched?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a framework, and every year there's a different framework. Like when I was answering the last question, you go back and you look at your experiences that you've had in different places, different experiences that some of these guys on the staff here have had, and you develop that framework. But at the end of the day, it's really like it started yesterday. And part of putting that framework together is working with the players, and that's what we're doing. We started yesterday. It's been good. It's a 3-phase off-season program, and we'll begin to put all that together now, and then that leads into training camp.
So there is some stuff that might right now be in the framework that you think, it's not really something that.
Yeah, I wouldn't I think it would be crazy for me to stand up here and tell you what we're doing offensively. So I think I'll just stick with that previous answer.
Bill, along those lines, you've
Yeah.
had a lot of different experiences. You coached Deshaun Watson. You were in the college game,
Yeah.
which is different. I mean, offensively, once we see you on the practice field, how different is it going to look from the offense that you either ran here or in Houston?
Yeah, I think it's all about this team, this offense. What are we doing within the framework of the team, the players that we have here? Every year is different. Every year you have different players. There's different players that are here now that were here last year. So as you're putting together what you're going to do headed into training camp, you're learning from the players, and that process just started yesterday. And so, like I said, everybody, we're all starting at the same point. We're all starting off the same, let's just call it launching pad of day one of off-season program yesterday, getting to know our players, getting to know what they've done in the past, getting to know what they can do within our system, and then put it together from there.
Billy, can you talk about your relationship with Bill? In the sense that you've known him for a long time, you've had different roles. You were head coach, now you're working for him. Again, is he the same? Has he changed? What do you respect about Bill?
No, I have great respect for Bill. I really appreciate the opportunity to be back here working for him. When I got into pro football, this was the first place I worked, and I learned a lot. I learned more about football in my first year here than I had learned in the previous, at that time, whatever it was, 16 years. So I am very appreciative of the opportunity. I take a lot of pride in working here. I've said that in the past. I take a lot of pride in working for the New England Patriots, not only because I'm from here, but because of what this organization means to me. And that's everybody in the organization. There's a lot of people here that were here when I was here before, and it's been great to reconnect with them, and it's been great to work with this staff. So I'm thrilled to be here.
Bill,
regarding the staff.
Go ahead, Greg. Hi,
Hi, Karen.
how are you?
Good.
For the players, getting back to the offense, for them, will it be like having to learn a completely new offense, or will there be elements of it they might be familiar with from being here perhaps 2 years ago?
I'd say that's probably a better question for them. I think that we all, like I was saying earlier, over time, you've been in a lot of different places. You have a lot of different ways of doing things. Some of those things are things that we've done here, but other things are new. So, we just started yesterday. It's a clean slate. We really yesterday just talked about some of the things we want to try to get done in the spring goal-wise and things like that, try to get to know each other. We really haven't been around these guys, because of that dead period. You can't really, all you can do is say a quick hello to them cafeteria and a weight room or whatever, so you don't sit down and chat with them. So yesterday was the first day to actually do that. I think like that's really what's important, is getting to know the guys you're coaching before you even start talking about X's and O's, and that's kind of what this period of time is right here the last couple of days.
Bill, specifically for Mac, do you have to be cognizant of the challenge that might be associated with having 3 different coordinators, 3 different play callers in 3 years, and maybe trying to mitigate whatever those challenges are?
I think that goes for really every player in there. I really do. I think, a lot of these guys have had different coaches over their careers, whether it's, quarterbacks or, the running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line. So I think it's more about them getting to know us getting to know them, our styles, what we believe in, what we're passionate about within the framework of what Bill wants the team to look like. So I think that's kind of what we started yesterday, and that's really what we're working towards right now.
Bill, can you just talk about the draft and the process of talent evaluation here since you've come back? And quite honestly, on Thursday when that rolls around, your input into the draft.
Yeah, we do our part as coaches. I would say that's obviously a better question for Bill and for Matt Groh. And, I know Matt, I think he'll be in here later on, so you'll get a chance to ask him that. We evaluate players. We give our opinion, and then, we get back to what our roles are on the staff. But, those guys are in charge of all that, and, they do a good job of that. So we just do what is asked of us relative to evaluation of players.
But having been at Alabama the last couple of years, you must feel like you have a pretty good grasp on the draft class this year.
I have a good grasp on the guys at Alabama, who I think a lot of them are really good, obviously. I have a grasp on some of the teams we played in the SEC, but I'm not like an expert on all of college football from 2022.
Bill, regarding guys, last question. Adrian Clem, what made him the right coach for
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Adrian Clem, regarding your staff.
Yeah.
Your impressions of him and what makes him the right
AK's been good. He's really smart, really good staff member, good communicator, got a lot of good experience at different places and different systems, really good guy to work with. The whole staff's been great, we meet a lot. We're in this room right next door a lot, and there's good chemistry on that staff so far, and that's good. But there's a long way to go here. We just started yesterday, like I was saying, but we're looking forward to continuing to work together, no doubt. And AK's, he's been good, great guy to work with.
All right, guys.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.